today we're going to be reviewing the Marc Jacobs Eye-Conic palette and do a purple smoky eye. So there'll be a little bit of a purple smoky eye how-to as well as a palette review. These palettes are gorgeous. I don't know if his whole line has the same fabulous look. I really think it will though, so it's gorgeous. I cannot wait to try it. So let's get started. All right, got my hair out of the way. So I'm going to start with my eyes first. I like to go ahead and get my eyes done before I move into my face. It helps with fallout. As I get older, I've got more fine lines and I like less product on my face. So it just makes it a little easier that way. So we're going to start with the eyes first. I'm going to do the loose setting powder under my eyes. Even though I have nothing on my skin, I still like to do this loosely under my eyes to catch any fallout. Powder, pigments, and glitters especially, they have a tendency to stick under the eyes in that moist little area where the skin is sensitive and delicate. And I don't like scrubbing it off or trying to rub it off with anything else because it can lead to people getting dark, like puffiness under their eyes and redness and irritated skin. So a little bit of loose powder catches my fallout and I can dust it off and then go over very gently with a little bit of moisture and just make sure I got the loose powder and then go ahead with my skin prep. So I like to do a little bit of color correction to take care of any of the blueness. If I'm doing a primer or something, an eye primer, I probably won't do the color correction, but in my normal way of doing it with concealer and foundation stuff, I'm going to go over it with a color correction to make sure that there's no blue undertones coming through that will affect my makeup. I'm going to go ahead and color correct with a little bit of Pro Conceal Airlay Girl. It is a little bit of their peach corrector mixed with a little bit of light concealer to bring it to a level that works with my skin. What a nice peach. It's going to be light enough to brighten my eyes and peachy enough to get rid of those blue circles. Concealer brush. I have the Ben Nye DB12. I'm going to use that on this eye. So we're going to use the color corrector slash concealer on this eye to work as an eye prime. That's to hold my product. And then on the other, I'm going to go ahead and try this primer and see what we think and see if it's even worth it. So it comes out, it's got a yellowy undertone. The yellow undertone would be good if I had purple blemish. It would help cancel that out. And so I'm going to take my concealer brush and apply that. Okay, it goes on pretty moist and then it gets pretty sticky. So that's what's going to make the colors really stick to it, is that waxy stickiness. It's got beeswax and stuff in it. So this side I have the primer, eye primer, and this side I have the concealer. So the concealer, I'm going to go ahead and buff excess product off with this one. And there's not really any excess on that one. And I'm going to go ahead and move into my eyeshadow. So this palette has a lovely selection of colors. I should be able to do an entire eye out of it. It does not have black, which I really like for eyelining, so I'll be using another palette for that. But it does have a nice highlight color, some shimmers, and a nice colors for a nice smoky eye. So let's have at it. It does not have a matte brow bone color, so I will be using a matte brow color from my Tarte Clay palettes. And so I'm going to go ahead and take a Krylon Art 3714, which is my favorite shadow palette. And I'm going to just lay down a nice matte brow color. So already I am seeing a nice difference between the way the colors catch between the primer and the concealer. So that's kind of nice. I'm excited. This may be a good thing. All right, next thing I'm going to be going into the palette. I'm going to take the brighter purple and lay this down as a base across my whole lid. Well, it's pretty pigmented. I like that. Nice pigment. Again, the primer is grabbing a little more on this side, so that's nice. Taking a blending brush, and I'm going to take this purple that I laid down, I'm going to work that up into my crease a little. It's pretty pigmented, but it's not, I mean, I'm not seeing a huge difference in quality between what I normally use. So I don't know if I'd spend the money on it. So the pigment or the primer holds the color more, but it makes blending much harder. It doesn't, it leaves more, so you see more patchiness, whereas this has a little more of a softer, more even blend. So I probably wouldn't use this one for on the whole eye. I would probably not put it on the brow bone. I'm sorry, I'd probably not put it in the crease because for blending, unless I went over and set my whole lid with powder and then blended it, and that's just like extra work. Um, but it doesn't really, it's not open for blending. Blending is much better on the concealer eye. Cool, got the purple going. I'm going to, there's another darker purple. I'm going to add that into my crease. Oh, that's nice. Witchy, witchy, witchy. I don't know, purple is like such a mysterious color. Makes me think of magic and dark nights. And, you know, it's just fantastic. So now I'm going to take a little of this silver and bring it in here. Because, come on, gotta have a little bit of light pop. So it does blend very nicely, the color upon color, which is really nice. Have a really nice color blend with it. And then I'm going to take this lighter, throw a little up here. To finish out my witchy smoky look, I'm going to be switching, finishing up my face before I finish up my eyes because I have, you know, some eye detail work, but I'm going to need to do that after the foundation's done. So we will do the rest of the face and be right back. I've gone ahead and finished up my eye makeup, a little bit of under of the purple, some light waterline, a little bit of black to frame out my eyes. Did my eyebrows, and now I'm doing some contouring. Today to highlight, I'm going to be trying the Fenty. Let's try this out. So I was a little concerned when I first got it because I was worried that it'd be a little bit too much for my pigmentation. I'm pretty light and I was just worried that it wouldn't work. It has beautiful color though, and I mean these are just gorgeous colors. So I just had to try it. So the pigment is lovely. It's very creamy. It's, I think, a little too dark for someone of my complexion, but anyone, I think, even just a few shades darker than myself, this is a fantastic highlight and bronzer. It's just gorgeous. Unfortunately, I don't have enough pigmentation to pull it off, but the quality is really impressive. I'm really impressed with just the creaminess and the lovely quality of it. It just feels so velvet and smooth. It's just gorgeous. So really do like it. Um, if you're into Fenty, I think this one, the Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo, is a fun one. So you might want to check it out. So I'm going to go ahead and use some e.l.f. highlighting. It's my e.l.f. highlighting gel, and I'm going to just put that on. I like to get a little bit of a dewy effect without looking too shiny. For one, I'm getting old. You know, as you get older, your skin, that you get more fine lines and wrinkles, and I'm now 41, almost 42, and I am not as smooth skinned as I used to be, and I do have fine lines and wrinkles around my eyes, so I don't want to over highlight in those areas and make my wrinkles show up as obvious. So I really like the e.l.f. It's a dewy gel highlight, which is just a really nice touch to get a little bit of glow without revealing all of my wrinkles to everyone. I'm going to finish up my eyes with a little bit of highlight here. Just a touch. And a little pop up here. Gotta get that glow, baby. Without, last but not least, I'm going to finish everything with a Marc Jacobs lip gloss. And I really like this one. It is so pretty. There you have it, a purple smoky eye with Marc Jacobs Eye-Conic palette, Marc Jacobs lip, some Fenty highlights, along with e.l.f. and a few other brands. A review of the palette. They are nicely pigmented. They do blend nicely together. I do like the colors, but I don't think I would pay that price tag and get that whole brand. But it is a nice palette, and if you have gotten it and you have it, it's a good palette. Enjoy it. But I wasn't that impressed by the pigments to upgrade from something else that's a little more cost effective. I have tons of palette, but I honestly tend to like the Tarte, and I'm a Morphe girl. What can I say? I really do like Morphe, but it blends nicely, has good pigment, but I am not super impressed. So until next time, you guys, see you later.